coming in hot, chicks, little postseason baseball, brother.
I just got home, man. I didn't even turn my on-air sign behind me, but you know.
Dude, you have a special guest? Oh, yeah,
baby! And Macy's there. All right, there's Jess, who's dressed like a garden gnome. You're gone? Just say one thing. Say one thing.
Let's go, Mets!
So that's where we were tonight.
You guys just got back from the game. How was that atmosphere when Lindor hit that grand slam? Seriously.
I got to tell you. Okay, so I am a lifelong Yankee fan, and don't forget
I know. Your family. Isn't your family like coming after you right now? Your dad just told you.
My brother's like, I can't believe you're wearing a Mets shirt. I'm like, my wife works there. Maybe if they go to the World Series, I can maybe redo my kitchen, get something nice, nice patio furniture or something. I'll take that. We root for laundry. Like you said you have cousins that root against you when they come to your games that you pay for. Anyway, that being said, it was electric. Fans were lit up, but Mets fans have this just guttural sadness and despair and think everything's going to be bad the whole time. So they're just all in shock that this season has gone so well, I think. But then when Edwin Diaz walked into that closing it out and walked the first two guys, the entire stadium was dead silent. Now, let me backtrack. Francisco Lindor might be one of the coolest, most badass baseball players I have ever seen in my life, dude. He does everything right. And that home run was one of the most electric things I've ever seen at a sporting event.
One thing I love, first off, it looked like Citi Field was going to come down. The place was going absolutely nuts. The pandemonium that was there and the boom mics that were going and letting the crowd eat was so good.
Fox.
But, one thing about Lindor, man, I was, obviously you can't say back in my day because it is what it is. But, I think the big thing was always like act like you've done it before. Nowadays guys are hitting homers. They're hitting 210. They're throwing the bat. Lindor hits a grand slam.
Head down.
At a point where you think he should go bananas. And it's just business as usual. This is what we need. We need to win ball games. I expect it to come up with big hits just like he's done all year long. We've been talking about him in the MVP race with Ohtani, but I just love the fact that he hits that grand slam, puts his head down, runs around the bases, hugs the guys. It's a big moment, but there's some class about that. It's like Barry Sanders, scoring a touchdown, best running back ever. He hands the ref the ball. You know what I mean? Like it's just something about a class. Still, because you don't see it as much in the game nowadays. When you see a guy Lindor do that, you're like, man, I respect that a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like more badass. That's a great comp with Barry Sanders. That's a great comp because also he plays a game that it looks so easy. There was a play up the middle in the late innings, just a rocket that he just picked and stepped on second base in a huge spot and like exactly what you're talking about. Like it just happened and he just walked into the dugout and everybody just expects him to be awesome. And he's awesome. He's got the greatest smile in baseball and God bless him. You root for guys like that. Like you root for Barry Sanders. Just amazing. Now, again, a couple things. I got to say, I said we're going to make t-shirts that just says Carlos knows. Like, because people are like, oh, why would you start JD Martinez? He hasn't hit in, 3 months, whatever. He led off that grand slam inning, dude, with a base hit, and it just set the entire stage for the entire inning. I'll tell you another thing. That dude, Mark Vientos, that plays third base, is a superstar in the making, dude. There's something about him.
He can pick it too, right? He plays a nice third base.
He can pick it. He does have those little lapses, and he did tonight. He the first run for the Phillies came when I think it was runners on first and third, slow roller in between where he could have either gone home, the guy was going on contact, or he could have turned to second. And I think he had that thought that young guys do where he was thinking instead of
where am I going? Yeah, where am I going? Yeah.
And he fumbled it, and that happened to him a couple games ago. But I think that'll go away with experience. But damn, man, he hits hard and is a stud. Now, let me go back to the team that my family all hates me for wearing this.
Wait, I want to really quick. I want to stay on that Edwin Diaz real quick because I honestly believe like. Is he your closer, or is Stanek your closer, or who? I mean, who? or somebody else. Just Diaz to me, man, he's
Peterson.
all over the place. Like I just don't know. I just don't feel like he has a lock in on the strike zone. And I just feel like how many times in this postseason have we already been like, buckle up, like
Right.
this is not going to be a clean 1-2-3 inning, and the strike zone is not going to be filled up. So it's just something to look at. Obviously, Mendy has gone to him all year long and all that stuff. But
yeah,
I don't care, man. If I'm the manager at this point, I need some. It's just like when you look at the Yankees. Look at Weaver tonight getting a five out save, and he dominated, filling up the strike zone. He had a little hiccup there with Bobby Witt Jr. and Sal Perez getting hits in the eighth, making it first and third. But he was just filling up the zone, pretty nasty, and like it wasn't it wasn't walking guys.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. When Diaz is in his zone, like, and he's ahead in the count, he's unhittable almost. When he gets behind the count, they know what he's doing. His slider. First of all, his fastball is he doesn't miss by an inch, dude. He missed by like 6 inches, dude. This Citi Field was a disaster when he was in for the first two batters. I felt so bad for everybody who's a Mets fan, and then he just locks it in, and then he's unhittable. I agree with you. Now, Mendoza has proven that he's going to bring in his best pitcher in the best spot.
Right.
So if you remember, when Diaz was that guy to him a few nights ago, he brought him in the seventh, right? He brought him in the seventh. I'm going to bring my best guy in the best spot. Maybe that's Peterson now. And hopefully you're up 3 or 4 runs and he can close and Diaz can close it out. I think you're right, dude. I think everybody knows it. It's obvious. And like I said, I trust whatever Carlos Mendoza does because I don't think the guy's done a wrong thing all damn year, which is amazing.
Whatever he touches turns to gold right now.
It's amazing. Now go to that Yankee game. 2 things. You've been harping on it. First of all, yes, they have a closer now. They have probably one of the other than Clase. I would trust him more than anybody. But dude, I got to give you credit. You were with him last year. You see how he works. You see how he hustles. Giancarlo Stanton is a man, dude. A future Hall of Famer, hopefully, in my opinion.
Well,
if he can stay a little help.
Big G has been there before, and he's one of the best home run hitters this game's ever seen. But I also feel like there's something about him this postseason that's saying, you know what, guys, like maybe in this series you're going to jump on my back, and that's what they did today. I mean, literally. The big double to score the first run, score Juan Soto, had another hit, and then he hit the big home run in the eighth to put them up 3-2. And Big G doesn't show a ton of emotion. He was fired up. I mean, he turned around, flipped the bat, basically saying, "Let's go, boys!" Like, where they have 4 hits, he had 3 of them. He went 3 for 5.
Freaking awesome.
Giancarlo Stanton single-handedly won that game tonight for the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees did a lot of good things defensively. The Royals, it seems like, they a lot more walks again, too. Their pitching's kind of been up and down. Didn't score a ton of runs. It was another great game. But, I mean, you got to tip your hat to Big G tonight. And he basically won that game for the Yankees. Now they're up 2-1. That's just a huge W.
Yeah. What Giancarlo Stanton has done in his career, guys, you watch what Aaron Judge's amazing season was. Stanton's always hurt, but 162 game average, 42 homers, and 108 RBIs. And it's just he hit 59 home runs one year. He's a great player and by the way, a lot of his injuries have not been just like, like there's broken bones involved in that. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Legit injuries, but that's irrelevant right now because at the end of the day, it's all about what you're doing in the postseason. And Big G coming through tonight, we've seen him dominate the postseason before. And, man, I tell you what, if he's hot, I really feel like Judge. I don't know if you saw his at-bat tonight. First at-bat, absolute bullet to short. Mm-hmm. Bobby Witt makes an unbelievable play on him, jumping up, leaping, makes that play. Next one, he just misses going deep. He's about a 10-foot from the fence. The other one, they checked his swing. They said he went, but he didn't. So he would have had 2 walks and 2 really good, a ball he almost hit out, and a rocket to short. So I feel like Judge's right there too. Like he's so close, man.
Yeah. And you know what? If I were the Royals, I needed to win this game today. And when I saw it was 2-2, I just walked out of the stadium into this little after party thing from the Mets game. And I was like, it's 2-2. I'm like, it's over. The Yankees aren't going to win this, and the Yankees are done. and they won it. They pulled it off because they're the Yankees, and they do have those studs there, man.
Also, too, if you look at going into today's game, I believe the Royals had like 33 hits or 34 hits. 31 of them are singles.
Yeah, you said that.
It's tough. It's tough in the postseason to keep stringing together hits. Get a guy on, get another hit to get him in. I mean, just I feel like, at some point the long ball's got to come and play in Game 4 for the Royals.
Yeah. Well, let's speak of hitting. Speaking of hitting, so Cleveland, very first baseball game in this postseason, Cleveland versus the Detroit Tigers. They had a 5-run first inning, just whooped on them. And then they had, what was it? Let's see. A couple innings later, they had some runs. Dude, they have gone 20 straight innings without scoring since the opening of that series. Yeah, it was a 5-run first and a 2-run sixth. They have not scored since. And you're facing a Tigers team that doesn't have any starting pitchers. They don't really start pitchers. They just throw like everybody out there. So
dude, the Guardians offense has literally gone missing. If anyone can put an APB out on them, tell us where those guys are. Let me know. But 20 innings in a row, and the Tigers are finding a way, man. They're back home in Detroit. Big hit by Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson. To put another 3-0 win. And I think the big storyline is here. The two storylines. The Guardians offense has gone missing, and AJ Hinch is still doing an unbelievable job with that bullpen. They used 6 pitchers today, Chinch, to shut down the Guardians in a 3-0 win. So they're doing something right. That bullpen has really been locked down. He said it before. And if the Guardians come alive in Game 4 and they find a way to get that win, the Tigers have Scooble waiting in Game 5. So the Tigers are in the driver's seat right now. They've got another home game. They're playing great baseball. The Guardians aren't swinging it. If they don't win Game 4, though, they have Terry Scooble waiting in the wings for that Game 5 and also the Cy Young here pretty soon.
Yeah, there you go, man. By the way, Stephen Kwan is hitting out of his butt. He's the only one hitting there, but Jose Ramirez has done nothing in this series yet. And Jose Ramirez almost went 40-40-40 this year. So, I mean, that's, by the way, my lights went out. That's how tired I am and late. We can do this. I mean, you guys wake up in the morning and we might be totally off, but I will say this right now. At the moment, the Los Angeles Dodgers are in San Diego up 5-0, and I am shocked, dude. I swear, I thought San Diego was the scariest team in the playoffs.
Well, dude, you know what? We were having this conversation on MLB Network today. I think we're getting so Padres happy that we're forgetting that the Dodgers have been the best team in baseball for the last 4 years as far as like wins go. They're winning 105 wins, 103 wins, 102 wins. Like, this is still a really good ball club. Let's not forget they have Shohei Ohtani is going to be the MVP. Mookie Betts, who's been an MVP. Freddie Freeman, who's been an MVP. In the top of that lineup, their bullpen's been good. They're scrapping right now on that starting pitching. I think that's the one area where they're trying to have to figure it out, and they're going to have to almost maybe look like the Detroit Tigers with the way Dave Roberts has to use that bullpen. But I tell you what, man, don't forget, they're still the Los Angeles Dodgers. They still have one of the biggest payrolls in the game. They still spent $1 billion, on a couple players this offseason. This team is really good, man. And I think they're sending a message tonight, if this holds up, that they're going to take this game. They're going to take this to 5 games and head back to LA.
Yeah. All right. Well, some dude named Eric right here just messaged, if the Dodgers go to Game 5, who's your starter?
Is it Yamamoto?
Is it? I mean, I guess it should be, right? You paid him $750 gazillion. You might as well start him.
Yeah, at this point, I'm starting Yamamoto, and then I'm navigating and see how how it goes, and I'm playing matchups. It's a all hands on deck game.
It is.
Really.
Looking at everything right now, pressure versus no pressure. I think the Padres have pressure because they're a really good team. If you're the Mets, I think now you have pressure because you've realized you might be a really good team. Dodgers have the pressure because they spent $1 billion. Yankees always have pressure. I think if you're the Detroit Tigers right now, you are house money playing it. right?
You're all in. You're all in with the
Name
house.
anybody who's betting on the Detroit Tigers right now, and they're beating up on a team that maybe the most consistent team in baseball from day one until the playoffs started, were the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And Tigers in their division are beating up on them, and we don't know who anybody on the team is, and they have an $18.5 million roster. There are guys they're playing against that are making more money this year. One guy on every team they're going to play is making more money than the entire roster of the Detroit Tigers.
It's incredible. These are about house money, right, chicks? They are all in, dude. They're all in every hand. That's why they're
Yes.
That's why they're dangerous. They're dangerous because they're like playing with house money. We're dangerous. They're playing loose. They're playing free. They're having fun. They're young. They're doing so many things right now. And like I said, AJ Hinch is driving that bus and doing it right. So they got nothing to lose. But let's not forget, dude, the Mets, I think since like June 11th, they've been the best team in baseball.
Yes, I'm reminded of that every day upstairs from my wife. Yes, that's a
I think your wife working for the Mets. That's the reason. I think Jess's great mojo of who she is the big reason why.
I gotta say, so I got to be around like some of the executives there tonight. Not whatever, and Jess had just started there, and I told a couple of them this one story where it's like it was like game 5 of the season. It just ended, and Jess had just gotten the job with the Mets. And I told all these people, I'm like, and it was just disgusting. The Mets were like those Mets that everybody's like,
0-5.
Yeah, like the sad, like you see pictures of like the drunk Mr. Met because like, like the 62 Mets. And I was like, I turned to her and I'm like, why can't we catch a break? This is your new job. Like, why can't they have a good year right now? They got to be 0-5 and they're going to fire everybody. Did they have the right manager in Mendoza? A dude threw his glove into the stands.
Oh, that's right. That was this year.
Yes, that was this year, dude. He throws that glove into the stands. It's like, what are they going to do? I thought about this today. Pete Alonso, do you trade him? Lindor's contract is so big. Maybe they trade him, dude. There were things where it was like, break up the Mets.
Right.
And now Francisco Lindor hit that grand slam tonight. I've never seen anything like that in my life at a ballpark. And they got some mojo, dude. If you're looking at like voodoo, the Mets have the voodoo more than any other team. The Tigers have the who gives a shit factor more than any other team. And I think everybody else is just grinding, like, to be honest. That's my thought.
No, man, it's there's some I saw that post you had, was it yesterday, where you played that song, there's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. I honestly think that with the Mets, I'm like,
that's
something happening here. We don't know where it's going to end, but the fact that they're in the NLCS right now, like that song is very fitting for what's going on. Because you're like, oh, they're going to lose this game. Oh no, they won. Oh, they're not going to win that game. Oh, they found a way to win. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It really is.
Last few weeks, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to go. My wife. I got to go put an intravenous into my wife so she can go to work tomorrow. And then we're going to keep going. And guys, we're so happy to be doing this live. We're so happy to be with Believe. We got our boys, the Melon hats now. It's all, it's all happening now.
Sponsors.
Sponsors everything. All right.
Man, awesome, dude. Let's keep it going. Postseason baseball. Nothing like it, brother. I'll see you tomorrow for the podcast. If you're not tuning in the mayor's office, start tuning in. Let's go.
Shake yourself.
All right, bro. I'll see you, man. See you guys.
Yeah. Hold on.